What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined, as almost always, corrected by Scottfish yesterday, by my co-host, Josh, and your favorite Fun Friday Front Yard fam member, Tim Minshew, a.k.a. Tim Wright. But, guys, today we are joined by a very special guest, great friend of the show. He's the co-founder of the FF Collective, host of Collective Knowledge, co-host of the Fantasy Nightcap, and a dynasty writer at Going for Two. What is up, Shane?
What is up? I am so pumped to be here doing my second FYF show.
Yes.
Oh my God, Anthony, why is jail on Shane's lap is making me dead. As you can see, I have my youngest with me.
That's fantastic. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Her name is Charlotte. So we just woke up from nap, and but yeah, I'm excited to be here.
If we're being honest, we just wanted Charlotte on the show. Shane, you came with the deal. That was part of the deal, but we're excited. Shane, before we get started with the game though, with some tiers, you are currently running a charity tournament, Polly's Playoffs, that I know means a lot to you. And you've got the Podathon coming up on Tuesday. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what Polly's Playoffs is for, what it's supporting, and what that Podathon is going to look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So Polly's Playoff is a charity tournament that I run. It's in the second year, inspired by Scott Fishbowl last year. I was like, I've got a big enough platform. Let's go ahead and do something with this. So I started running my own charity tournament. It's all for the Alzheimer's Association. So my family and my wife's family have been personally affected by that because her grandmother passed away 2 years ago from Alzheimer's. And so we have been advocates for that. We participate in the Walk to End Alzheimer's every year. And even before she passed. And so the entry fee is a $10 entry fee. It goes straight to the Alzheimer's Association. So on Tuesday, I'm doing a podathon. I'm actually taking the day off of work because they're super cool and let me have either a charity day or a volunteer day. We get one per quarter. So I'm using one of those to go and do the podathon. And yeah, so the whole point for that is just to raise money and chat fantasy football and Alzheimer's all day long.
Nice, guys. It is an awesome cause that I know it's affected Shane's family, but I know a lot of people watching have also been personally affected by this. So if you guys can contribute in any way, tune into the Podathon. There'll be opportunities to donate, even if you're not a part of the tournament. So make sure you guys are supporting that. It's an awesome cause, awesome thing that Shane runs. And I know it's a ton of work getting it together. So we appreciate that you're putting that together, Shane.
Why do you laugh, Shane? Is it actually a ton of work?
It was a ton of work this year. There was a bug on Sleeper that didn't allow me to do something that I did last year that made it easier.
That's annoying.
But I think long-term, it'll actually end up being a benefit. So
I'm sure you learned a lot, right?
Yeah.
The bug is a feature. That's the number one rule of product creation. That bug is actually a feature. We got some people in the chat here hanging out with us. Craig says, for those that regularly show up here to hang out, I say Donka Shane. FYF is awesome. That was a pretty good one, Craig. Yeah, 360 Fantasy, aka J Wall in here said, tiers are messy.
Absolutely.
And Clove said, how late will this stream start? Only a minute or two today. We were pretty on top of it. Burner back in the chat. He says, what up, chat? And he also said he wants to apologize for his video quality. Burner, you have to apologize for nothing. You came on here and freaking killed it.
Yeah, you made me look dumb.
Jay's in here saying, hey, Burner, how's it feel to be back on this side? And he says, as the current reigning, defending, undisputed, charted out champion, it feels pretty good. And Shane's back. And Anthony agreeing, no need to apologize, Burner. You absolutely killed it. Dan says, what a wonderful Friday cast. Well, what a wonderful Friday chat.
Dan, I miss you, Dan. I miss you. I mean, he just got back from his wedding and everything. Pretty awesome. I saw some pictures.
Yeah. Anthony wants to know, Shane, how do you keep Charlotte so well behaved? Mine would have broken the mic by now. It's Shane's secret. It's the secret of Shane.
She just woke up from nap, so she's still in a coma, basically.
Okay, keep them in a coma, and they won't break the mics. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind.
Cal in here saying, what up, fellas? What up, Cal? Glad to have you in here. And guys, today we are doing tiers. We've got two different tier lists we're going to look at. The first one is our redraft wide receivers part 5. We're going to be looking at 4 to 5 more wide receivers, tiering them out. And then as the Olympics are coming to a close, we are going to tier the Summer Olympic events.
I've got some opinions here, guys. I got some opinions.
We're gonna offend somebody. Know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if you're watching,
I can't wait.
I feel like that happens on every episode of Tiers.
Like I hate a certain sport, someone's gonna be like, I dedicated my life to that sport, and you're over here giving it an F tier. Like you don't even know what it's like to be a swimmer. Where they're the peak athletes, it's the pinnacle of the human performance.
I don't care.
F tier. Yeah. So get ready for that, guys. But
lots of things float.
Before we jump into that, if you guys have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We're on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy. It means a ton to us. Josh is going to cry if you don't, and he might take his shirt off if you do. So it's a win-win either way. You really got no reason not to. Or if you want him to cry, maybe he'll cry and take his shirt off.
Maybe they don't want me to take my shirt off too.
Trampoline better be in this bracket. It is.
Oh, I hope it is.
You know, on this show, we have a former trampoline junior Olympian, and you get one guess as to who it is. And we all know it's sitting down there in the bottom right corner. Tim is a former trampoline junior Olympian.
Actually?
So that,
yeah,
100%. So trampoline will be.
That's awesome. I had no idea. I did not know that at all. That's fucking. That's really cool.
Anthony says, Tim, what did you break?
Just a bunch of hearts on the way to the stream, baby.
And Jay Wall said, take your shirt off now. Okay, Josh, you heard the man. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the first tier list that we are doing. And Jay said, Tim, that is so awesome. We will see how trampoline gets tiered, though, with the junior Olympian on screen. Let me swap me and Shane here. Guys, today we're doing part 5 of our redraft wide receivers. Each of us is going to pick one to talk about. The potential names we can talk about today, we're going to run through it. We've got Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, a blurry Michael Thomas for some reason, Brandon Ayuk, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Kenny Galladay, and OBJ. As you can see, we've got our some of our top tiers already populated a bit, so we're going to be working from the list that we've created. And Shane, you are up first. Which of these 8 guys down here would you like to talk about?
Hold on. I first need to address the disrespect that Davante Adams is in tier 2.
So hey, let's reevaluate right now.
Anthony
guys.
brings up a good point.
The only reason he's in there.
Yeah.
I
think it's unanimous.
I'm
Anthony and I are on the same page.
Let's move him up. Does everyone agree?
I'm moving. Now that Aaron Rodgers is confirmed. Yeah, he's a tier 1. He's number 1 overall in my eyes.
He was borderline tier 1 anyway. Get him up there.
I agree.
We're gonna put him all the way.
Okay, now that that's fixed, you know what, Simon? I see the Amari Cooper jersey in your background, and I actually have one that I think matches. So we're gonna do Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
If we're going based off jerseys, I also have a DJ Moore over here.
Oh,
more on the floor, baby.
Amari Cooper because we've got the same one.
We're on the floor.
There we go. So, what do you think about Amari Cooper? Where are you tiering him this year, and why?
He's trying to look at the other players. He's like, "Where's he belong? Where's he belong?"
I don't know if I can put him as the same tier as CD in tier 3, so I'm going to put him in tier 4.
Oh wow, yeah.
But it's very close for me.
Shane says it's close, but he's going to end up in tier 4. Josh, where are you putting Amari Cooper?
I mean,
remember, this is redraft for everyone watching.
Yeah. I mean, with the the news coming out, I can see an argument for putting him in tier 4, but I'm still putting him in tier 3. I think he belongs right next to CeeDee Lamb in drafts, especially in redraft. In a dynasty league, CeeDee Lamb, I'm drafting all day out of Amari Cooper. Just CeeDee Lamb belongs in tier 1 pretty much for me. Just in a dynasty league, we're not talking about dynasty, we're talking about redraft. Amari Cooper, I'm tempted to put him in tier 2 almost, but it's tier 3 for me. That's I would draft these guys. I would definitely draft, for example, Terry McLaurin above Amari Cooper.
Tier 3 for Josh. Tim, what about you? Where are you putting Amari Cooper? We have a 4 and a 3 so far.
I'm gonna ride with the guest here today. I probably won't draft him unless I get value out of him, but I'm never going to trust Dak. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just not going to. I know he did fantastic stuff in a couple seasons, but I'm just not going to trust it. His ankle's made out of paper clips. So,
and then there's a shoulder injury he's going through right now,
look
which
at
is concerning. Which is concerning.
Paperclip ankle, lasagna arm. Put Cooper in 4.
Cooper in 4 from Tim. And guys, I'm going to do what none of you wouldn't. I think Amari Cooper belongs in tier 2. On a points per game basis this year, I fully expect him to outperform CeeDee Lamb. If he misses time, obviously that could affect the end of season, but I think Cooper's still the wide receiver 1 on that team. Don't get me wrong. I love CeeDee Lamb. He is a top 5 dynasty wide receiver for me. I put him right there with Justin Jefferson. I liked CeeDee Lamb more before the draft, and I'd be hard-pressed to trade CeeDee Lamb away even for Justin Jefferson straight up. But in redraft this year, I expect Cooper to be the guy. So he's a tier 2 receiver right up there with Mike Evans for me. I have a hard time separating those two. So a 4, a 3,
I think some people in the chat are making great points, to be honest with you. If Mike Evans is tier 2, then Cooper belongs. I kind of agree, but I personally am putting Mike Evans in tier 3.
I'm going to change mine. I'm
Harry McLaurin above him.
I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go 3. You guys convinced me. And
fair enough.
Convinced me.
No, I get why you put him in 4, though. I get it. Especially if there's
I don't know. I just feel like in the end, Cooper. Well, and because a lot of people aren't talking about Michael Gallup, so I feel like Cooper, CD, and Gallup are all going to end up eating into each other. So maybe that pushes them all down a tier from where they actually should be. Like you said, CD should be in tier 2, and then Cooper should be in tier 3. But if they all eat into each other, I could see pushing each other down a tier.
I still can't decide which one I like more. If Amari Cooper's 100% healthy going into the season, I'm still taking him in redraft this year ahead of CeeDee Lamb.
The chat seems to be all about Amari Cooper tier 2, except Burner saying Evans should be in tier 3. Anthony cheering Simon. Just because I'm blinded by my Amari Cooper love doesn't mean you should cheer for me. But that averages out to tier 3 for Amari Cooper with a 2 of 4 and 2 3s. So Amari Cooper ends.
Can we move him up
there
a little bit?
CeeDee
Put him next to CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, we can put him.
That just looks better to me.
Now they are next to each other. And now they're debating Mike greater than Cooper greater than Evans. Perfect. Jay said Cooper greater than Evans. That's not a debate we're having here, but I would love to have
Sounds
that.
Like an LSAT question.
Guys. Josh, which of these players would you like to talk about next?
I forgot that I was going to be coming up next. Let's see. Let's talk about Julio Jones. In the grand scheme of things, when I'm looking at these other tiers, I think he belongs right next to Tyler Lockett. I would take Robert Woods right next to him as well. I would definitely take Julio Jones above Adam Thielen. There's no doubt in my mind here. I think he belongs in tier 3 as well, but I think he's more closer to that tier 4, tier 3 range in my mind. But I'll put him in tier 3. I think he belongs at the end of tier 3 for me.
Tier 3 for Josh for Julio Jones. Tim, where are you putting Julio?
Does anybody know where he finished last season? Just off the cuff?
Like where he finished? He was in Atlanta.
I gathered that. I saw him down the road one day.
He dealt with so many injuries. He dealt with so many injuries.
Wide receiver,
you know what I'm saying?
52, but he only played 9 games.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
All right. I'm just kidding. I mean, I know he's an absolute stud, big fan. New system, I think he's going to be able to overcome that pretty easily. And I love Tannehill. That offense should be working pretty well. Not that they have more than one person to throw to. Three's fine with me. I think he's obviously got tremendous upside. Some of the best body control catching. He's got the talent for sure. Definitely a little bit older, but
I'm concerned about the offense, if anything, the run first offense, I guess.
Yeah, that too. But we'll give him 3. I definitely would draft him over Thielen for sure. So that's clear cut, easy.
2 3s so far. And just for more context, Julio Jones on a points per game basis last year was the wide receiver 14. That's
what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for.
Wide receiver 14 on a points per game basis last year with 9 games played. That does include the game where he got injured. So I'm not sure exactly, but 14-13 range, that top end wide receiver 2 is where he performed on a points per game basis. And that's why I'm going to put him in tier 4. I know that feels disrespectful, but I think all of those guys in tier 3, I'm going to draft ahead of them. I feel bad putting him in the same tier as Adam Thielen, but he's on a new team that's not as pass friendly with another dominant wide receiver. I think Julio is going to be great, I just don't know how great for fantasy. So Julio's tier 4 for me, but it is so close. Shane,
Look at
what about
Anthony
you?
coming
Where are you
in.
putting Julio Jones?
He's thinking Julio after Thielen. I wouldn't do that, but I could see an argument be made.
I mean, Thielen just finds his way open in the end zone. So.
He really does. I mean, and it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke either. I mean, a lot of touchdowns can be fluky, but
Clove has another positive for Amari Cooper. He said he can't catch COVID because he can't catch anything.
That's 40 chess right there.
Grade A analysis. So I got Julio in tier 4. Shane, you've got the last vote here. Where are you putting Julio Jones?
I'm going to put him in tier 4 above Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 4.
Wait, we're splitting us. We're getting split.
We are splitting us, but we've got the rule that it rounds up. So this puts it at a
I'll put him in tier.
So Julio
I said I was
Jones
on borderline.
in tier 4.
I was so close that I think with our votes,
fine.
with 2 people saying tier 4, and I was so close between the 2, I think it's fine putting him in tier 4, the top of tier 4.
Julio Jones at the top of tier 4. That's not an indictment on his talent or skill. It's just a new team, new position, and it's less pass heavy. He's still the same Julio Jones. Tim, which of these players would you like to discuss next?
So I'm trying to figure out in tier 4 if I can find somebody directly in the middle of the 2, because it looks like we're zooming out. Like Julio's really close to the camera and Thielen's really far away. So there's got to be somebody in the middle.
Is he too close too, or
he might be.
Well, Thielen's head is also just so little.
yeah, there's something
Like,
not wrong going on there.
Tiny head.
Like, that's just not
Dude,
right,
what was
right?
What was that
Is this
video
real?
game on the Nintendo 64 with the little like worm aliens with like the skinny heads and like
Pikmin?
Mountain Dew was in it? And then there was like Mountain Dew was like a sponsor of said game. He
I
looks
think
like one of
DJ
those
Moore's a
worm
good
guys.
in between, by the way. DJ Moore looks like he's kind of in between their head shapes.
I'm trying to match the shoulders as well.
I was thinking
yeah.
that or
Tim, what's
Cup.
it gonna be?
Maybe Cup.
Yeah, we'll go Cooper Cup. That's fine.
All right. Yeah. Good choice.
And for my sole analysis, I think he belongs in between Julio and Thielen.
Tim says tier 4 for Cooper Cup. And you know what, Tim? You got there a very special way, but Earthworm Jim. That Rick nailed it, Anthony nailed it, and Burner nailed it. Everyone got Earthworm Jim for me. I really appreciate you guys looking at that. That's Adam Thielen now. Adam Thielen is Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
good.
fantastic.
But Tim, you got there through your own special
Oh.
analysis, but I'm coming to the same conclusion. Cup belongs in tier 4. I have Woods a full tier ahead of him. I'm excited to see what he can do with Stafford. But I think Cup's going to be great this year as well. He's going to stay a red zone threat. He's probably going to have that touchdown upside. I just don't think he's going to be as consistent as Robert Woods. So I've got him in tier 4. Still a great wide receiver, though. We've got 2 tier 4. Shane, where are you putting Cooper Cup?
Tier 4. I think right in between Julio and Thielen, honestly. But if he moved up, I wouldn't be shocked. I feel like that offense is going to explode this year because they actually have a capable quarterback. So we'll put him in tier 4.
Thank
but,
God he didn't break his thumb.
Huh?
Thank God he didn't break his thumb. you
Yeah.
know? Matthew Stafford. There's concerns, but it looks like it's all good.
Has anyone here ever broken a thumb?
I've
I've
broken
broken a finger.
4
Not my
different
own.
fingers, but never a thumb.
I've broken a thumb. It sucks. The amount
I
of
bet
Fonzie
it's probably
jokes
the
you get
worst
is not
finger
fun.
to break. It's probably the worst finger to break,
Josh.
I would assume.
Isn't it not even a finger?
It's not a
Sorry.
finger.
That's a
Thumb.
great question. I
8
don't know the
fingers
answer to
and
that.
2 thumbs. Rick says Cup greater than Woods. Jay said Cup and Woods are like the same guy. He wants Cup and 3.
Yeah.
Josh, we've got 3 4s so far. Where are you putting Cooper
I'm
Kupp?
with the chat here. I put him right next to Robert Woods, and since Robert Woods is in tier 3, I have trouble deciding between the two. I know in the past that Kupp wasn't on the field as much as Woods, and he's more of a slot receiver, so he probably will continue to be that way. But I think they're trying to spread that offense out. I think in the last year with Jared Goff, they needed more blockers on the field. They needed to make it a running game, so they couldn't really have Cooper Kupp on the field, who isn't a good blocker. But going forward, I expect him to be on the field much more. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns. He's going to get a lot of catches. Stafford likes the slot guy. I put him right next to Woods. I would draft Woods ahead of him, but they're so close. They're neck and neck. I'm putting tier 3, but he's going to end up in tier 4 anyway.
Tier 3, but he does end up in tier 4. Burner, so Tim has only ever broken hearts, not thumbs. And Anthony's agreeing with you a little bit about the slot guy. He said with Stafford, Woods greater than Kupp, but it's pretty close. Jay thinks Julio and Kupp belong in 3, but
Okay,
too
Jason.
bad loser.
Jason,
Guys,
what I would say is that honestly, tiers
I don't
2,
like that you
3,
call
and
him Jason.
4 are so close.
They're so close, man. This just
Like-
shows the depth of wide receiver.
Yeah, like you could move. Well, I think Calvin Ridley is in tier 2. He probably needs to be in tier 1.
He is.
But all of these guys could move up or down in these tiers just based off of production this year.
Preference too. Like I would not fault
Yeah.
anybody for putting even like
Jay
Cooper
number
Kupp
2
or
is coming
Julio
in.
up in tier 2. I would have no
Jay number
issues
1
with that.
in our hearts.
Jay said there are no Jasons here. Nobody goes by Jason, just Jays. Guys, we are going to talk about
Jay Felicio Jason when I'm angry at him.
Jason Felicio. We are going to talk about one more player. Guys, the player I want to talk about is Michael Thomas. We don't know how much there's a lot going on with Michael Thomas, right? He's an elite wide receiver talent, but we don't even know who the starting quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill is probably a downgrade for Michael Thomas, but we haven't seen it in full. There's a big question mark there. Shane disagrees with that, but then he's also on top of the question marks around that offense. He's injured. We don't know how much time he's going to miss. So you've got to knock him down a couple tiers for all of those question marks, plus the time that he's just going to be sitting on your bench waiting for that recovery. Michael Thomas right now, I'm going to skip a whole tier on tier 5, and I'm going to put him in tier 6. He's still got that elite talent. That's the only reason he's that high with the injury that he has, but tier 6 for me, and that's feeling a little bit generous based on the information we have. Shane, where are you putting Michael Thomas?
Can you come back to me? I have to go parent. One of my children just bit the other one.
No, listen
Absolutely.
up. I will come back to you because I have something to say about this. I might be kind of, I don't know. You guys might not like this, and I don't know who's going to wind up in tiers 5, 6, 7, or 8, but like he is buried in my rankings at this point. I fully expect him to miss several games, and like, how am I supposed to draft a guy that's just going to be sitting on my bench? And when he comes back, am I going to know he's going to be fully healthy? Is he going to be the same guy again? You mentioned the Taysom Hill concerns and Jameis Winston. I'd rather have Jameis Winston as the quarterback, but without Michael Thomas, I actually expect Taysom Hill to be the starter. I mean, they don't have many receiving threats, and I don't know. I'm burying him. I want to put him in 7 or 8, and I wish I knew where some other guys were going to wind up here, but I'm probably putting him almost in 8. I'll say
call.
7.
8, 7.
Do it.
I'll say do it. I'm burying him, man. Like, I'd rather have like guys like Michael Pittman over him at this point. Like, and I feel like Michael Pittman's going to wind up in like tier 7. You know, I'm going to put him in 8, man. I'm going to put him in 8.
8
at this point.
We've got a 6 and an 8. Tim, where are you putting Michael Thomas?
I know there's definitely loads of concern here, but the way I look at it is if you get the chance to draft him in a late round and you already have a couple guys, please do it. He's going to come. They're going to sprinkle some Cajun sauce. They're going to rub some andouille sauces all over his leg. I don't care what they're going to do. Char grilled oysters for days. They got a special recovery plan down in New Orleans. I know that for a fact. I mean, for the point you just said, they don't have. I couldn't name a receiver on the Saints. If we were playing that game yesterday, I would not even know what to
just
do.
came in and named one.
Traquan Smith.
Oh, yeah, that guy. As soon as he comes back, they're probably going to try and sprinkle him in a little bit, but he's going to be the guy again. And just, I'm still going to believe in him. So I'll go upside 5, super late round pick, stash him on your bench if you can. He could win you a league.
So what do you
in
put
the last
him in?
few weeks? I'll put him in 5.
5.
I don't care.
But you said his upside is 5, but does that mean he should be in 5 then?
Well, with his upside, he's 5
because of his upside.
Yeah, so he would have been buried down in the dumpster.
I'll tell you
toilet
this:
right
I just did the Raz Bowl, league draft, and I got Michael Thomas in the 11th round in a 12-team league, which I was completely fine with.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's 11th round. That's
if you get a league-winning player in the 11th rounds, that means he's worth the top.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Tim's got him in tier 5. We've got a 6, an 8 from Josh, who buried him in a 5. Shane, where are you putting Michael Thomas?
I think tier 6 is accurate. So I'm going with 6 as well. Simon, I was shaking my head when you said that Taysom Hill might be bad for Michael Thomas. In the 4 games that they played with together, Thomas actually had, I think, the most targets and the most points per game in those 4
That's
games.
fine. Drew Brees was crap last year.
Well, yes, but my point is, hey, can you chill out? I know you want your Wawa.
She's just sharing her
I
opinion.
understand where it's coming from. Taysom Hill doesn't destroy Thomas. You're absolutely
No, that's my point. Is
I agree.
He doesn't destroy him. I think,
but
Jameis
I'd rather have
also
Jameis. I'd rather have
Jameis
Jameis.
brings him value too.
Yeah.
My
But
point.
for me, the reason that I have him so low, like his talent should put him in tier 2,
Tier 1,
3,
tier 2.
but
Yeah.
he's going to miss half the season.
Yeah.
And
Talent
just
tier
because
2 for sure.
it's Michael Thomas, you don't know when he'll actually come back.
Mhm.
So, I feel like 6 is a nice spot to get him. That means you're probably getting value on him, like Tim said. Is his upside higher than that? Potentially, but we
She said it. No,
you don't want reading.
no. Bury him.
Yeah, my point about Michael Thomas was more that, or about Taysom Hill, was that I think Jameis is better for his fantasy value than Taysom Hill is, even with what we saw last year. Yeah, I think Jameis is just better for Michael Thomas's fantasy value. Anthony said, Shane, what's your Twitter? You earned a follow for helping us watch JL today. We appreciate that. Guys, that is it for part 5 of our wide receiver redraft rankings.
Shane
Michael Thomas
B.
putting it in tier 6, and we are moving on to the main event. We are tiering Summer Olympic events. We've got tiers
I'm excited
S
for this
through
one.
F, and we're going to do these. Shane, you've got the first pick again. There are lots of events on there. Diving's on there twice, but everything else is on there once. Which one of the Olympic events would you like to talk about?
That's synchronized diving.
Can you zoom in because my old eyes can't see this?
I love that it's called football. Soccer. I mean, I get it. We're the only ones that call it soccer, really, but we're a fantasy football show. It's just kind of
Sport climbing.
climbing is
tier S,
badass.
Tier
I know,
S for me
I just
has to be basketball. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a huge basketball fan.
and we're American.
Summer Olympic basketball is so much fun because you get to see all these NBA guys like Luka, Rudy Gobert, Pau and Marc Gasol. I'm throwing it back to Pau. All these Patty Mills with Australia, like playing with all these other guys that aren't in the NBA, and they're still having such high levels of competition. So I'm going S tier for basketball.
S tier for basketball from Shane. Josh, where are you putting Olympic basketball? What tier are you putting it in?
It's S tier for me as well. Everything Shane said, I think, is completely accurate. Especially, being Americans, we expect to dominate this one specifically. Especially, it's very important for the NBA players, especially the young NBA players, to be a part of this. And it's got to be S tier.
2 S
For me.
tiers. Tim, where are you putting basketball?
not for me. When I think basketball, I don't think Olympics as the thing.
No,
like there are all these other things. I'm like, oh yeah, swimming, that's the Olympics. But basketball is like, oh, I guess we're playing in the Olympics. Are we going to win again, or are we going to lose to France unexpectedly for no reason this season or this Olympic season? Is bad taste in my mouth.
Again, I know we already did, but
I'm going to give it a B for basketball.
B for basketball. That's fair.
A B for basketball from Tim. We've got 2 S's and a B. And Tim, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. When it comes to watching basketball, I prefer NBA or college over the Olympics. I've watched more of the TBT, the basketball tournament, and the Big Three during the Olympics that are going on right now than I have Olympic basketball. So it's tier B for me.
The Big
I love
Three in the
basketball,
Olympics is basketball, right? Or is that a separate thing here?
There's a separate tournament called the Big Three.
But isn't that Olympics?
3v3 is a thing in the Olympics as well.
Yeah, I'm just talking about specifically a tournament called the Big Three. So
I understand.
That is 2 S's and 2 B's, which I believe is going to put it exactly in the A tier. So basketball ends up as an A. We will see if we get that ever elusive S. It requires like 3 of us to agree on it and the other person not to bury it to get it. So we'll see if we get one. Josh, which sport would you like to talk about next, or event?
I would love to bring up rugby, actually. I played rugby when I was in high school and college. I really love rugby as a sport. They play sevens. I played 15 on 15. In the Olympics, they play 7 on 7. It was just added last Olympics. I'm really excited when I watch it, but I'm not going to lie and say it's an S tier. I don't think it deserves to be S tier. I'm going to put it in A tier. That's more personal to me. I doubt you guys are going to go that far with it, but I just wanted to mention that I played rugby.
I just wanted to brag about rugby. That's impressive. Most rugby players that I meet have like 1 ear or something. Like their ear was ripped off. Or
I have plenty of broken bones. But I'm all good. I broke my nose a couple times.
A tier for rugby from Josh. Tim, where are you putting rugby?
Yeah, I'll throw it up pretty easily in the A tier. There's definitely arguments for it to put in the S. I had some of the most fun ever watching the 2016 Olympics when I don't know if it was New Zealand when they had this big dude and they just kept on getting touches and then just it wasn't New Zealand. Who was it? Oh no. It was a team.
New Zealand's All Blacks. Maybe South Africa?
No.
What colors? Do you know the colors?
I think they're a blue team. It doesn't really matter. I think they won the golds, but they were just absolutely steamrolling people. I mean, they'd score a touch and then they just kick it off, and they were just bigger than everybody else. And they just got the ball back and scored again. The scores would be like 42-6 or whatever it is, or 5. Fantastic. I'll give it an A for sure. It's a lot of fun to watch.
A tier from Tim. Part of what's fun about the Olympics for me is getting to watch events that I don't normally get to watch, like that I don't normally turn on. So rugby gets that factor for me. It's fun. I don't watch it often, and I enjoy turning it on. It's A tier for me as well.
Hey, I did not expect this.
Shane, what do you and the girls think? Where is rugby going as an Olympic event?
What tier should we give rugby? A, B, C, or D?
A, B, C.
A, B, and C.
Okay.
Wow.
Said A first.
I'll go B.
All right.
Haven't really watched a ton of really the Olympics. But when I did watch, I was watching a rugby game. I think it was either USA versus Canada or USA versus Great Britain. I can't remember which one. And I was just enthralled. I was like, I've never watched it before, and was really entertained. So I'm going B. Simply because I don't understand it completely. But it was fun to watch.
There we go.
You
figure it out. It's passing and tackling. I'll explain it to you one time, Shane.
And Josh, who was Fiji. Fiji was just dominating people.
Yes. Fiji, yes.
Rugby ends up in tier A. Tim put it up there. Fiji inspired him. Tim, where are you putting, or what sport do you want to talk about next?
I kind of want to talk about, you know what? I think you're going to talk table tennis next. So let me talk.
You can bring up your trampoline if you would like.
I don't even watch trampoline that much.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've never even seen it then. Let's
go diving. Let's go diving.
5 years ago.
Or actually, I was a gymnast for a long time.
Classic.
I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna go gymnastics. Where is that? Just regular gymnastics.
Fair enough.
Artistic gymnastics is the one that you're thinking of. So there's artistic and rhythmic. Artistic is the one with the vault and all of that.
And Simone Biles just dominating.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's S tier. It's the only place for gymnastics to shine ever. That's very true. Changing the rules definitely was not great. But
so weird.
Up until this point, gymnastics was obviously one of my favorites to go and watch. It was just breathtaking moves, literally making up tricks as they go on. Is fantastic. Shoot it to the top.
Gymnastics in the S tier from Tim. I agree with you. Gymnastics, whenever I think Olympics, the very first thing I think is Olympic gymnastics. It's like the event that people get most excited for. I feel like there's like some, I don't know, the rivalries between like the US, Russia, and China in the past Olympics have been like tense, and they're fun to watch. Like these three countries that are dominant competing at this sport. It's so much fun. And some of the like biggest name Olympic athletes from the past Olympics have been the big name gymnasts. Simone Biles right now, it's S tier for me as well. When I think Olympics, I think artistic gymnastics. Shane, where are you putting gymnastics on this tier list?
Okay, so clearly I've been distracted. Tim and Simon, what were your ranks?
We put it in S. Honestly,
that shouldn't matter.
Balance beam alone gets that shit in S because I don't know, like, who on planet Earth was like, what's
you got to be
too
so
easy?
Talented.
a backflip. Let's make some on a 4-inch wide stick above the ground.
Those things
and
are
then
hard, dude. Oh.
Yeah, so
Insane.
I'm going S tier as well. I think that like this event and swimming are like the face of the Olympics. So and like you said, the competition, the rivalry between countries, just the all around performance by the United States, like always being up there. I think this has to be S tier.
We've got 3 S's. Josh, do you agree, or are you
I'm
going to
glad
bury
it's
it?
in S. I'm not going to bury it. I'm going to put it in A tier personally. I'm still going to wind up in S. I only put it in A tier because of what the chat's saying. You know, it does suck, but it still belongs in S, probably. You know.
Yeah. So actual sport of gymnastics, S. Politics and like
Yeah.
I guess social aspect of gymnastics, like below F. Like
Yeah.
the Larry Nassar scandal,
Z.
the
Oh,
crap
yeah.
with Simone Biles,
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
all of that. USA Gymnastics, get your shit together.
Yeah.
IOC, get your shit together. Make it to where Simone Biles, who's the best in the world, clearly can compete
Obviously.
at that level.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. And Rick's in here saying Summer Olympics kind of sucks when you think about it. Give me Winter Olympics all day. Well, I'm sure one day we
even in my
will do a
mind.
Winter Olympics bracket. Gymnastics ends up in S tier, and I get to pick the next event. Man, I've been going back and forth. We're talking about our favorite events, what we're going to put up
You want
there.
to pick a bad one?
I want to pick one that I really just, you know what? No, I'm going to pick one good one more that I think belongs in S tier. And the next run through, I'll probably pick a bad
All
one.
right.
I want to talk about an event that is so weird in its construction. Like, I don't understand how anyone becomes a professional modern pentathlon athlete. Like, how do you, it is freestyle swimming, fencing, equestrian jumping, pistol
That's
shooting, and
nuts.
running.
That's so nuts.
Like these
so
athletes
nuts.
are freestyle swimming, fencing, single touch of pay. Then they're doing horse jumps, and then they have a laser gun where they're shooting targets, then running 800 meters, then shooting targets again. Like, what an absolutely insane sport! I feel like its days are numbered in the Olympics. It's not going to be there forever. But I think it's a bizarre event to watch. It's like the biathlon in the Winter Olympics, but they were like, you know what? We need horses and fencing and swimming as well. So I'm putting modern pentathlon in the S tier. I think it's just so bizarre and unique to the Olympics that it belongs up there in S. Shane, where are you going for the modern pentathlon?
I'm putting this shit in F.
What?
Just pick one sport, man. And that's all I got.
F tier. Shane said, pick one sport, man. F. So we've got an S and an F. Josh, where are you putting the modern pentathlon?
I was watching a lot of, bear with me for a second, the decathlon, and that's very interesting. All the track things, you got to be good at sprinting, you got to be good at throwing, you got to be good at all these things, and that impresses me. This is so confusing to me. I'm not like saying I hate it. I've seen it plenty. But it's weird. It's freaking weird. I'm putting it in C tier, all right? C tier for me.
C tier from Josh.
It's just
Tim,
too
where do you
weird.
put
It's
it?
too weird.
I was
We
gonna
got an
say
S, F, and a C.
like the chat saying Shane must hate the decathlon twice as much.
No, I like the decathlon.
No, I think with the decathlon, it's different. That's been going since the beginning of the Olympics.
So is the
Greek
modern
did
pentathlon.
that crap,
The modern,
right?
I think it's the modern part of the pentathlon that's bothering me.
Okay.
So I think I learned that the modern pentathlon it's designed in a way that you're supposed to be dropped behind enemy lines
As an
and
infantryman.
and
That's
like
true.
these are the things that are get you through it.
A little bit.
I wish part of
change.
I was gonna say I wish part of it was taming a wild horse because that's gotta be because how else are you gonna get on a like that whole thing is wild. I'll give it. It's not my favorite to watch. The bizarre factor does not do it as much for me as it does for you, Simon. I'll give it a B.
A B. So we've got 2 Bs, an F, and an S. That puts it at 3.25 average, which is a B. Shane, it looks like our S and F just canceled each other out. And the modern pentathlon is going to end up in B. And Shane, we are back to you. Fine. Which event would you like to talk about next?
Is water polo on there?
It is. I see it down there.
Let's do water polo.
I'd love to hear your opinion.
I'm going to give water polo a B.
Okay.
It's very close to C, but I'm going to give it a B. It's got a special place in my heart because I did swim team in the summer every year for since I was 5 years old till probably I was 15. And so on Wednesdays after our swim meets, we would have a fun day, and half the fun day we would play water polo. So I've got a very soft spot for water polo because I was decent at it. But the fact that these guys are in 10-foot pools the whole time, the athleticism, the strength, the endurance that it takes.
They're getting pulled on and stuff.
Yeah. It's got to be it's a solid B, I feel like, because of that.
B from Shane for water polo. Josh, where are you putting water polo?
I couldn't have summed it up any better, Shane. It's absolutely B tier for me. My high school that I went to was actually nationally known for water polo. They are a really good water polo team. One of my gym classes for a semester, we swam and played water polo, and it's a lot of respect for what is done in water polo. B tier though. Yeah, B tier.
I was zooming in just because Anthony said, "Am I blind?" I don't see water polo.
It's
there
alphabetical
you go,
order.
bud. It's right there. Water polo is there. We've got 2 B tiers. Tim, where are you putting water polo?
One of my favorite memories from college involves water polo, and you.
Damn it, you stole my story.
I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to lead up to it. Yeah, it's truly incredible that these people are trying to play this game, and one of my favorite parts about it is that goalies are like, yeah, I need to use my face for some of these, aka most of them if they can, and there's some people that are just like, whoa, blah, smack the ball, and they just get their brain scrambled.
The explosiveness of a goalie. Because,
JL, where are you, bro?
Yeah,
we've got JL in here. He says C because I would drown.
You, man.
JL would drown playing water polo.
It sounds like it should be a D for drown.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm solely because I think we should raise the difficulty factor even more. C because I think it should be played in the sea.
All right.
Oceanfront water polo.
Yeah,
says,
I'm in.
You know, you guys may not know this, but I was a water polo athlete very shortly in college. Clemson Club water polo team.
Sounds like really shortly.
I went to the activities fair and I signed up, put my name on the list, and was so excited for Clemson water polo. And then I never went to a single practice or event ever. Just didn't go. So it was a short-lived stint. I think I was pretty good. That poor team trying to operate without me. I feel bad for ditching my brothers in water polo for that season.
That's about
that was really
so
tough.
much.
Yeah, I talked about it a lot. I was so hyped. So for that reason alone, I'm going to give it a B because of the sheer excitement I had to take part in it. But it died out rather quickly. So we've got 3 Bs and a C for water polo, putting it clearly in the B tier. Water polo. Wait, why isn't this dragging? Something's. There we go. Wait, I accidentally put wrestling and weightlifting up there as well.
Yeah, what the heck?
There was some lag going on my computer, so I kept dragging. Then all of a sudden, I looked up and there was more things on the board. John Luke said deep sea where sharks are. Yeah, water polo needs sharks. That's part of the difficulty level.
No, that's extreme water polo.
Yeah, but people aren't
in the
that
X Games.
They're not going to go down that far. I'm not going to go real deep.
Jay says, welcome to the chat, JL. We have all things that are good. Would you like a creamy Bailey's?
You ever had Bailey's from a shoe?
From a shoe? Oh, great. I haven't seen that video. It's so long.
Which event would you like to talk about next?
2, and they're both negative. And I'm gonna go with badminton. Sorry guys, that doesn't feel like an Olympic sport to me. It's D for me.
D tier for badminton from Josh. Tim, where are you putting badminton?
If memory serves, the fastest flying object in all of sports. I can't. What do you want me to do, man?
No, I'm saying you got the good fast. Keep going.
It's the birdie, man. That thing comes off like a freaking rocket.
It comes off and then it slows down.
Have you watched rallies, man? Don't even try to tell me.
Pattern.
Don't even try to tell me.
I'll fight you on this.
I'll play me a badminton on it then. How's that?
Go. You'll beat me because it sucks.
B for badminton.
B for badminton from Tim. Tim, I love your rankings today. So we've got a D and a B. And you know what, guys? I may put the bad in badminton, but it is so much fun to watch. It is. Tim took my favorite fact. One of my favorite trivia pieces is the fastest moving object in sports is the shuttlecock after it leaves the racket in badminton. The golf ball leaving the club, the shuttlecock. That's what it's called.
Shuttlecock.
That is the fastest moving object in sports. It's a B.
I do suck at it, Anthony.
I like watching badminton. And I didn't know people like trained in badminton, but my girlfriend freshman year of high school was on a competitive badminton team.
Really?
She
should put it higher.
Played badminton. So shout out Jackie, freshman year girlfriend. I hope your badminton's going well. So I'm going to put badminton in B tier. Shane, where are you putting badminton?
I'm going with a D.
Let's go. All right. Let's go.
This is a country club sport. Like, why are you playing this in the Olympics?
So are all of these. Literally,
play
that's what the
table
Olympics
tennis
are.
or tennis. Like, you figure out one of those. No, don't play the in-between.
Oh, ping pong's more elite?
Yeah, it is. I'm
Kev
better at
says
ping pong.
bird up. And Anthony said Josh hates badminton because he sucks at it. And Jay, I got you. Its proper name is shuttlecock, not a birdie. We are in here. And Anthony said, just like rugby, Josh, there's no pads in badminton.
There's
no crying in badminton.
I don't think there's pads in any of these sports, right? Oh, no, I lied. There's some fighting combat sports.
So we've got badminton in the C tier with 2 Ds and 2 Bs. It landed squarely in the C. Tim, you've got the next pick. Which Olympic event are we talking about next?
Where did you get all these icons? Because they're really funny.
They're great.
Looking at
Jay. G-Man Jay.
Good job, Jay. Hey, Jay.
Good job.
Shout out to Jay.
Fantastic.
Jay. Beautiful.
I'll have you know,
I'm
right before the stream, I texted Jay and I said, great job on the Olympics tiers. Aesthetically, it looks very nice. I just love all the little pictures.
Shout out,
Tim,
Jay.
which one are we talking about?
I'm not going to pick it, but I want to shout out the triathlon logo right there because the man he's half man, half bike. He's bike man. Is fantastic. He's like a modern centaur.
Okay, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. He's running and biking, and there's
what
water
superpower
blowing.
do you
There's
want?
water
Bike
too.
man.
Wow, that's a superhero.
It's almost S tier just because of that graphic.
I really wish I could pick a bad one, but I'm so excited about looking at these. I want to talk about beach volleyball, man. Beach volleyball and indoor volleyball are just two of the craziest sports. They are so crazily physically demanding and fast. I am so happy watching beach volleyball. Like, seeing that Dahlhauser is still playing, I was like, oh wow, Dahlhauser's still around. I thought he was as old as a freaking moose or something. I don't know how old moose are, but beach volleyball S tier. When I think of that, it's so exciting to watch these teams play. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Send it to the moon.
S tier for beach volleyball from Tim. And volleyball beach or normal, will always have a special place in my heart. One of my favorite college memories was at a Clemson volleyball game our freshman year. We walked in and they asked me and one of our other friends if we would be part of the halftime show. And how the halftime show worked is he was on the other side serving volleyballs over the net, and I was given a pair of 6XL sweatpants, and I had to catch the volleyballs that were served to me in my 6X sweatpants, and whichever person caught more of them was the winner. There was a moment in that, honestly, the peak of my athletic performance in anything, forget high school wrestling, I don't give a shit. I did a full layout dive and caught a volleyball in my pants, and the entire arena erupted, and the announcer was like, oh my God, I can't believe he caught it. And I've never felt so cool in my life. So volleyball, whether it's regular or normal, is S tier because it gave me that feeling. I got that feeling. So I'm agreeing with you, Tim. Beach volleyball, S tier. Shane, where are you putting beach volleyball?
Where am I putting beach volleyball?
Yeah.
Hold on just a second. It's an A tier. I'll explain that in 2 seconds.
A tier for Shane. Well, Josh, where are you putting it?
Listen up. I'm putting an S tier, so it doesn't matter what Shane is. I was just playing beach volleyball. I got an injury because there was a freaking sidewalk right behind the beach volleyball court. My feet are all torn up still. This was 2.5 weeks ago. It's so freaking annoying. But anyway, I digress. A lot of athletic ability goes in there. I love watching it. Beach volleyball S tier.
S tier.
When I think of Olympics, that's one of the things I think of.
Absolutely.
And beach volleyball goes up there in S tier with 3 S's and an A.
And Shane,
Clove
why
said-
an A? No, sorry.
That explains
Okay.
it.
Pretty on the
As
spot
soon as
there.
I'm
Pretty
needed
on the
to
spot.
talk, they start losing their mind. Yeah, it's an A. I mean, I think Tim summed it up pretty well. Like the just pure speed and athleticism that these people are playing with in sand. And again, it's something that the U.S. can dominate at. So USA,
It's always
USA,
better.
USA. So the end of that is an A, and that's why we're going with A tier.
3
That's
S's and an
fair.
A.
I was
It
gonna
ends
say,
up in S.
Can we put a U tier at the top?
Yeah, because then it would be U.S. team. Yeah.
Who decided S
Super,
tier was
and
like
then
the
A.
best?
I
Probably
don't know.
JL.
Clove-
Right?
the chat's agreeing with us. Clove said S. John Luke said S. And Rick said, I am down with beach volleyball S. And he also said, Tim looks like he just came from playing beach volleyball.
Who does?
Serves up, bro.
Seems like the whole chat pretty much thought S.
Cut.
Nope.
And JL is
Ouch.
saying moose are just big deer according
You kinda
to
are.
Simon.
Kind
It's
of
a different evolution. It's when they get enough
Yeah.
experience at level
Exactly.
32, I think they evolve.
I'm picking my next
do
event.
These tiers again.
It is the event I've watched the most of this year, the one I've enjoyed the most, and it is brand new to the Olympics. Skateboarding is an S tier
Cool.
Olympic event for me. I'm so glad they added it. The women's and men's street finals were an absolute blast to watch. The athletes looked like they were having so much fun. Like there was this camaraderie between all the skateboarders there. I just that is the most fun I've had watching the Olympics this year was the women's street finals in skateboarding. It was just so much fun to watch. That is S tier for me. And the medalists in Olympic street skateboarding, 13, 13, and 16. Those were the ages of the girls that women that won the Olympic skateboarding medals for the women. Absolutely bananas. And that probably means nothing but good things for that sport going forward. Like we are just seeing the beginnings of Olympic skateboarding. I'm excited. S tier. Oh, I was about to just put it up there without even asking you guys. I was so excited. Shane, where are you putting skateboarding?
This is really, really hard for me.
It's a
Because I
difficult
love
one for me,
you know
too.
what? We'll just go S tier. I love skateboarding, always have. I had a skater phase in middle school. So S tier, I absolutely love it. It's freaking awesome.
S tier for skateboarding. Anthony said, Simon, I thought that hill would make you put skateboarding in F tier. It broke my arm and I still love it. Josh, we've got 2 S tiers. Where are you putting skateboarding?
I never really skateboarded. I watched it a lot this Olympics. I think it's cool. You might think skateboarding might be S tier, S for skate, but no, it's B for boarding.
B
B for
tier
me.
for
Yeah.
boarding. Nice one, Josh. I see what you did there. Tim, where are you putting skateboarding?
I'm going to give it an A for skate. Boarding.
There's 2 A's.
Like you said,
One A and
I skipped so much work watching those finals. I was not paying attention at all to anything I was supposed to be doing because I was very excited for Dutch girl. I'm so sorry you didn't make it. But then watching
She
this little
killed it
Brazil,
in the runs.
she killed, right? She's man. But then they were doing these crazy tricks. I mean, Japan killing it, and then this little tiny Brazilian girl who apparently I think Tony Hawk actually tweeted out about her. She had years ago. She was doing like kick flips and crazy stuff, like dressed in a little fairy tutu Disney princess kind of outfit.
This is when she was like 8 or 9 years old. Yeah.
And Tony Hawk's tweeting about her. That's pretty cool. But I think A only because it doesn't have I'll still think X Games for skateboarding before I think of Olympics. So
makes sense. So we've got 2 S's, a B, and an A, and that puts it squarely in the A tier with a 1.75. So we've got skateboarding in the A tier. Jay says Shane was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. Absolutely. And then he said S tier for Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Shane, you get to pick the next event. I say we can probably go through one more time. If we go rapid fire, we can get 4 more events.
Let's rapid fire it.
Which event
hit it
would you
hard.
like to talk about next?
Swimming, S tier, face of the Olympics. Boom.
Swimming, S tier for
I agree.
Shane.
It's S tier. It's S tier.
S tier for Josh. Tim?
Olympic swimming is S tier. People that come to me and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a big swimmer. I don't trust you as a person, but Olympic swimmers, I'll trust you." It's S.
S tier. And guys, I know I'm probably going to get so much hate for this. I find zero enjoyment watching swimming in the Olympics. I just don't find it fun. The only thing that's fun is watching like the medals afterwards and getting to count how many medals the U.S. swimmers have. Like that's cool, but I don't like watching it. So it's D tier for me. I'm going to put swimming all the way down in D. So we've got 3 S's and a D, and that puts it as a tier 2, which is an A tier. Swimming ends up as an A tier event. Shane is baffled.
There isn't even a D in swimming.
I know. It's I was trying to make it work real quick and I couldn't.
It's silent. It's at the beginning.
The swimming. Josh, which event would you like to talk about next?
I want to talk about Taekwondo. I watched some Taekwondo. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it, but I'm so used to UFC, and maybe that's a problem. I love UFC, and like it just seems like they were doing things where they deserved to get points. Like I saw some kicks in the face, and it was just like, no, you got to hit him in a specific spot, and no, you got to do this. There's so many rules. I get it. It's a sport. I'm putting it in D though. I didn't love it. It was kind of enjoyable for a little while, and then I got frustrated watching it. D tier. Taekwondo.
D for Taekwondo from Josh. Tim, where are you putting Taekwondo?
All the respect to the Taekwondo practitioners out there, though. All the respect on the world.
Yeah, like my mom and brother.
And my brother-in-law practices it, but
watching it's not exciting. I'm gonna give it a C just because my mom is like a 2nd or 3rd degree, and my brother's like a 4th degree. I don't know what that means.
My brother-in-law is a black belt too.
Yeah, so we'll go C.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go C. It's fun to watch for a bit. I find some enjoyment in it, but then I get bored rather easily. Probably just because of the lack of knowing the rules and how it's scored.
Yeah.
Hard to keep up with it, but it's a C because it is fun to watch any of these combat sports, at least for a little bit. Shane, where are you putting Taekwondo? We've got a D and 2 C's.
D.
C.
No, that ends up in the D tier. We round up. So we've got 2 D's, 2 C's. Taekwondo ends up in the D tier. First one in the D tier.
That one has a D.
Taekwondo D. Tim, which event would you like to talk about next?
There are literally so many I want to talk about. But I feel like in my last round, I have to talk about trampoline. It's a lot of fun bouncing on those things. They go so high, so fast, and they just go like then do tricks and stuff, and it's scary as heck. I'm gonna give it a B for bounce.
B for bounce.
B for bounce for trampoline from Tim. In Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, I have never lost at trampoline on the Wii. No one can beat me at trampoline in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Matters.
And for that reason alone, it's A tier. Trampoline goes all the way up there. It's fun to watch, and I dominate at it in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Shane, you look confused. Where are you putting trampoline?
I'm gonna go.
Stay with your chest, Shane.
I'm gonna go D. Just because I don't watch it. But B, I think the athleticism it takes to do the flips and tricks that Tim was talking about.
You look upset, Tim.
Require a lot, so I'm going to go D.
D from Shane. He said it would be F because he doesn't watch it, but the athleticism knocks it up a tier. Yeah. Josh, you've got the last vote. We've got a B, a C, and a D.
A D. I'm sorry. I just don't watch it. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you've seen.
I know it's impressive, and I respect you for doing it.
I don't know if you've seen on social media or anything, but one of the people have been trying to figure out names of people in the Olympics, and the only Olympic trampolinist I know, his name is Dong Dong.
For D.
I had a TA in college named Dong Dong. One of my TAs
was it him?
I don't know. He was my computer science TA in one of my labs, and his name was Dong Dong.
Probably not.
Probably not. Wildly smart. And you know what? Just looking at him, Dong Dong was not an Olympic athlete. That man was definitely a computer science doctoral student. Whenever you looked at him, that was the only thing he could have been. Maybe an electrical engineering doctoral student. Definitely not an Olympic athlete. But that puts trampoline in the C tier. And I've got to talk about one. And guys, I saved my favorite Olympic event to watch till last. I didn't watch it as much this year, but historically it's been my favorite. I don't know, Tim, I don't know if I've said this to you. Archery, there, like, no pun intended, there is not a more tense Olympic sport than archery. Just waiting as they pull it back for that moment of release and seeing if it hits the target. Like there is so much just built-in tension in every single shot in Olympic archery that I never get bored watching it. It's S tier for me. I love watching Olympic archery. S tier. Shane, where are you putting archery?
I'm seriously questioning our friendship right now, Simon. What in the world, man? You don't enjoy swimming, but you enjoy archery?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be nice
swim.
to
I
you,
can't hit a
Simon, and
bullseye.
put this in B tier.
B tier.
Yeah. Here's my reason. Are you
Shane is
laughing at Jay's comment?
No, I'm laughing because you're just sitting there like so baffled by me putting it in S.
I can't figure it out, man. Yeah, B tier just because the precision that it takes to be good at that and the practice that takes. I have mad respect for that as a 3-point shooter. So we'll go B tier.
Oh, 3-point shooter. Shane puts it in
Guys,
B. Josh, where are you putting
I'm
archery?
gonna come in
Your
hot.
face says
I'm coming
F.
in hot. It's F. It's F. I watched it earlier in the Olympics, and I was bored. I turned it off. I don't usually turn them off, but I did not like it.
A man of no taste.
And then that's it. I don't know. It was fine.
I think
No,
part of the
it
other reason
was
I love
fine.
it
F
is
for fine.
I know I'll never be good at it because I'm cross-eye dominant. I learned that in college. I'm left-eye dominant, but right-handed, and that does not work for archers. So I think the missing out on ever being good at that makes me put it higher. Tim, we've got an S, a B, and an F. Where are you putting archery?
How did you figure that out?
So to figure out which eye is your dominant eye, hold your finger up, covering something in the distance. So something like at least 10 feet in front of you. So you may not be able to do it right now. You're going to close your eyes whenever your finger's going to stay in the same place with one of your eyes closed, and it's going to move with your other eye closed. Whichever eye is open, whenever your finger stays covering that object, is your dominant eye. If that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
Not
it's
at
like
all.
cover an object.
We'll have to do that off air.
Okay. For everyone watching, that's how you figure out which eye is your dominant eye. Cover an object with your finger, close an eye. If that object is still covered,
I think
that
I'm
means
right
that's your
eye,
dominant
right-handed. That's cool.
Then you can be an
I
archer.
could be an archer.
Anthony
Let's go.
said, me too. Left eye dominant, right-handed. Tim, where are you putting archery?
So one of the fun parts about the Olympics, I think, is that there are some events that you're like, I could do that. And this is one of them. Like if you give me they have 4 years to prepare for every single Olympics. If you gave me 4 years and nothing else to do, I would be Legolas. I'd be better than everybody. You can't tell me that I wouldn't. Like there's no, and they have the high tech stuff. Like you're trying to tell me I have aim assist on my thing with the giant rod sticking out the end? Are you kidding me? I enjoy it. It is fun watching the split screen. You're like, oh, they put it up to their lip and they're like, this tastes good. This tastes like a bullseye. And then they let it go and you're just waiting. And then it hits the other side and it's not. And they're like, oh, I guess I tasted extra salt or something. I'll give it an A because it's archery and it's fun. I definitely could do that though. I think I could do that. Come on. Are you kidding?
You guys heard it here first.
Tim
Tim only needs a sponsor and then he will be competing in the next Olympics, the 2024 Olympics on the U.S. archery team. So someone hooked this man up with an archery sponsorship and he's going to be your next Olympic athlete.
Oh, I'd be the face of the Olympics.
We already went a little bit.
I'm shooting this way. Boom.
There you go. I honestly think we might have to do part 2 of this tier list next week.
Yeah.
There's
I would
still
love to.
Olympic events
I think that's
left.
a good idea.
Well, let's plan on doing some.
It'll be great to have JL back and him just being like, "Why the hell is this an S?" Or what? I'm sure it will come up.
It started with an S. Don't ask questions.
Shane, I wanted to thank you so much for coming on today. Guys, if you do not follow Shane, go follow him on Twitter at FFShaneB. And make sure you check out his work with the FF Collective, his podcast, The Fantasy Nightcap, and Collective Knowledge. So make sure you guys are checking him out and over on Going for 2 Live. And get that support in for Poly's playoffs. It's an excellent cause, and Shane's put in the work to raise money for something that is near and dear to him and I know has affected a lot of us watching. Shane, thank you so much for coming on, my man.
Dude, thanks for having me on. It was fun as always. And Tim, it was nice to officially meet you.
Yeah,
Tim,
nice to meet you.
You have no idea. Everyone that comes on Friday, like it's happened multiple times where we were like, I'm just excited to meet Tim. Like,
yeah,
I'm excited to meet Tim in person next week.
Woo! Woo! Let's get tattoos.
We got to figure out the
go.
rooming situation. We got to figure. We got 2 rooms between Josh, Tim, and I. What I think we should do is all of us sleep in one room and use the other room as a playroom.
Yeah,
That'll be
we can move the whole. We don't need beds in the other room. Just put like
so much room for activities.
Oh, yeah, 2 different rooms. Yep.
We'll have a cartwheel competition.
Trading makes fantasy fun. Hear me.
Trading does make fantasy fun. Guys, that is it for us today. If you are not sick of us yet, at 6 p.m. Eastern time, that's in about 2 hours, we are going to be live on the FanDuel Twitch channel with JJ Zacharyson, playing some poll perception. So if you guys want to come watch us hang out with JJ, check us out in 2 hours on the FanDuel Twitch channel, playing some poll perception with JJ. 6 p.m. Eastern time. But guys, that is it for us today. Until our FanDuel show, we are out of here. Adios, everybody.
Okay.